Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chichester Chats. That's right. It's that time again. It's me, Phil. Lilith is here.
Yo.
Justin the Owl.
Woohoo.
And of course, the man of the hour, the man with the plan, the man who blows up a bunch of shield recruits. DJ Chichester.
I'm just going to go with the yo as well. That's the group, yo.
That's right, because we're back this time. We're going to talk more Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this time from 25 through 29 from that 80s, 90s run. And yeah, you kind of, this arc, you kind of pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. You're like, yeah, let's start up S.H.I.E.L.D. again. And it's like, no.
I was just today and yesterday, like sort of in the middle of like the plotting and scripting for this still unnamed, Barbarian comic. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this is like way too much stuff going on, like there's so many fights and scene changes and everything. And then I reread, this thing, and it's like, no, I guess this has just been like a congenital disease for years, because there's so much going on in this story. Like, they're all over the place, and like things are blowing up, and there's intrigue, and cutaways to Wolverine, and so jam packing the pages seems to have been a tendency.
So creatively, you've always liked to stay busy.
I guess so. I mean, it seems like it works. I mean, I liked a lot of this story quite a bit. So,
okay, yeah, like you said, you got Wolverine, and before that, we got an issue where the Avengers and the Fantastic Four show up.
They drop in, say hi. Yep, right. Yeah, we blow up a bunch of stuff, big chunks in New York. Before that was not so fashionable, and yeah, it was all good.
So I don't know if are you fond of Wolverine? Because not only do you have him here, but you did do. I mean, me and Lilith did talk to that 2-issue Wolverine you did during Larry's run, like fill-in arc.
Yeah, that was Wolverine's, I think, a fun character, and that one came about because for like a split second, I was part of the Cool Kids Club. I think when Fall from Grace was like on fire. And then suddenly I was kind of in with the Ghost Rider office with Night Stalkers, and Bobby was tight with Bob Harris. So there was like a split second where I was kind of like in that inner circle. And when they needed to fill in, that call kind of came out of the blue, to do those fill-ins. So that was fun. And then when I got the royalty checks, that was even more fun, because I had no idea what you would get for a Wolverine issue. But but yeah, he's a fun character, and I did the one shot with Bill Sienkiewicz, on that, which was a very trippy thing called Inner Fury. So yeah, he's definitely an interesting character to play with, and he's got all the right aspects of gruffness and intrigue, and you can throw a reference to his background and play around with it there. So. It wasn't something I sort of set out to do, but I was glad to be able to play with him.
Plus,
he was obviously a sales.
Oh yeah,
he's a sales boost.
That's what I was gonna say. What was this, early 90s? It's like, hey kids, we got Wolverine over
here. Right. It's like, what are you going to pick from? Punisher, Ghost Rider,
Spider-Man,
Wolverine,
sales Trinity.
Wolverine. Yeah, kind of right. And you've seen, throughout my run on most books, I mean, I was shameless enough to grab everybody I could at one point or another, and say, can we use this person here? And no shame.
I do want to shout out the art team for this one specific panel. So if you could just pass on my thanks to them whenever you get a chance.
Oh yeah,
great.
Butch, the late and great Butch Geis. He delivered both cheesecake and beefcake in equal measure. There was no equal sexist stuff on either side.
Right I think right above this panel, there's like a lady in a slinky little robe. So
exactly.
Yeah. Something for everybody.
And
Yeah.
something for everybody, right? So you can't
Yeah.
you can't fault him going in. And then if you go back, a couple issues, you get his his epic bare-chested Baron Strucker thing, which was not
right.
written that way, but that's just what he decided to do, which explains the shirtless Baron Strucker in the Black Armor series, because I'd said to Netho, you've got to do an homage to Bush.
Yes.
And he was all for it. So
I love it.
Oh, 90s comics. I was gonna say the World War II vet there. That accurate
Nothing
portrayal.
like that Infinity formula, boy.
Yep. keeps on rocking. Now he's classic Nick Fury. I was looking at the Epic collection. Now it's classic Nick Fury.
Classic.
Yes.
It'll be vintage in a few.
Vintage, right. Taken over by the Sam Jackson one, but now this was classic antique roadshow Nick Fury.
The oldies channel.
I found these copies of Nick Fury, and all the colors faded from like his skin, so I don't know what's going on.
He was rocking a perm back then, don't worry.
He was rocking a perm.
And he had hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. I saw someone post online the other day, and I mean, it must be a newer fan, but I don't know what they were reading. But they're like, yeah, it's so weird to see Nick Fury as a white guy.
It's true. It's true. The whole generation.
We could have had with David Hasselhoff.
Oh my God!
Well, I think this is what they were talking about. I think they were talking about the Hasselhoff movie. Yeah.
What could have been? What could have been?
Him and Lou Ferrigno. I'm just saying, we could have had it all, boys.
Yep.
Just mixing signals here. The same character played by David Hasselhoff and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like, oh wow.
Well, now you've got to wait for Doomsday for all that crap. Apparently are like throwing in like everybody and their mother, like whoever touched the character. So it's there'll be like cosplayers in there. Like, this guy did a great Wolverine at GalaxyCon. Let's bring him into Doomsday.
Oh,
don't put that.
Justin, that's the new post. Justin's just been putting posts on Facebook almost every day. So one's showing up again in Avengers Doomsday.
Right. Yeah. Cosplayer 642 will return in Doomsday. Yeah.
I think what was it today, Justin? You had Shaquille O'Neal from the Steel movie.
Jim Carrey from The Mask.
Yeah.
And
then
that
in that wizard movie that he never was actually in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Mandela effect in that movie.
Wrong Captain Marvel. Sorry. Wrong Captain Marvel.
And then Mantis from the early 90s. It
was God, Mantis. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Mantis will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Right.
Played by Robert Downey Jr., of course.
Yeah. That was like that long dark night of the soul, where like there was nothing on that would like cater to any sort of buddy with a pop culture comic book mentality. So you'd watch anything, it's like Mantis seems like it's kind of superhero Jason. What was the other one? Wasn't there like a
Nightman?
Animal? There's Nightman, but wasn't there an animal one, like an animal guy or some kind of like Manimal? Was it
Animal?
Like, wasn't it? Like, swear to God, there was a show called Manimal that was like in that.
Was.
Yes.
Was it right? I'm not imagining it. Right?
No,
Manimal.
I haven't thought of that.
Shout out to Simon McCorkindale.
Oh my God.
That's like that. Oh God, what was that 89? That Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie where
yes,
he doesn't even have a skull on him. I think like the end of one of his knives has like a skull on it. That's the only time you even see a skull, a logo in that movie.
And he does that whole monologue.
Unorthodox.
He does that whole monologue. Right. He's like, God, tell me why.
And they just keep flashing back to go through that tunnel or whatever. Yeah.
Why do the innocent suffer and the guilty go free?
That's a pretty good Dolph, man. That's like good.
That will break you. But speaking of,
I was gonna say So
I mean, this is an
action-packed issue.
I was gonna say he went through World War II, but I think at this story you've written the worst day in Nick Fury's life here.
Yeah, he was going through everything here.
Poor guy can't catch a break. You think his name was Peter Parker?
I honestly forgot how much. That's what I was saying. I kind of, you remember it in general, but it really is just awful. It just keeps kind of coming and coming and coming, and Strucker's back there just like not even short. Not short.
One bad day.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's
I know. I mean, again, he gave Nick Fury the worst day of his life, and then it just seemed like Strucker's just like on a scavenger hunt. He's like, bring me this Satan Claw, bring me this the core from this old sub. He's like,
nuclear reactor. Yeah.
The last panel. Now bring in the second assault. Yes, boys, we got more.
Right? Isn't that was good? I was like, man, that's a good ending. That's like a good cliffhanger. That was good stuff.
Yeah,
if I do say so myself. It was
good.
Definitely. And he wasn't chortling either. He wasn't like twirling his mustache. He was legitimately kind
We're
of
gonna get it done this time, boys.
like hardcore, right?
Yep. He wants results.
I mean, just the way you had, Fury was like in a bad place, and I'm like, it got me thinking. I'm like, how much PTSD has this guy had? I mean, he's been probably in every war since World War II.
That was something I really liked about this story, because towards the end of it, the second or last issue of the story, like he had that kind of 1,000-yard stare, and he was just kind of, you could tell it was starting to catch up to him, all the stuff that had happened, and he was starting to unravel a little bit.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, it's bad when Wolverine's like, "Oh, you need to calm down, buddy."
Yeah, exactly.
And Wolverine is the voice of reason.
Maybe the berserker thing doesn't work for you so much. Kind of like.
And Wolverine's like, "You've gone too far, buddy." Yeah, no.
Take a good hard look at yourself.
I did think at first I thought that we're going to see 2 eye patches, because this is back when Wolverine was patched. So I thought for a while we were going to see double eye patch action going on here.
I know, and then I was like, why is he just going to get Wolverine? But I guess he just needed somebody with a healing factor, because they get that Blackbird. He had to shoot Wolverine, and then he's like tossing him out of a plane and stuff.
Yeah.
He's kind of ragdolling him around a little bit. Yeah, definitely. There must be a good relationship there to misuse your friends. That much.
Yeah.
It's almost like Weekend at Bernie's, but you can't kill the guy.
Right. Exactly. Weekend at Logan's. Yeah.
Weekend at Logan's. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so was that the plan all along? You're just like, okay, I'm gonna fool everybody. They think Shield's coming back all, full strength. Let's get it going, and then just.
Oh yeah, I think that came. Yeah, that was. There was definitely a pretty solid arc in mind. From the minute I knew I was bringing back Strucker. That he was going to come back, and he was going to. Build up Hydra, and Hydra was going to be a real force. I think there's even a line in there, of, how can it be Hydra? These guys can't even shoot straight, sort of thing. And
send in the stormtroopers.
Exactly. So that was always the thought. That was the, to have him, go through Hydra, purge, all the idiots, purge all the people who didn't meet his standards, and make it back into a formidable force. And that formidable force, would then be turned against, Fury. And the bigger thought, had always been that was going to somehow influence the larger Marvel universe. You've heard me, I think we've talked about that before. I think Greg Wright talked about that, as well. But it ended up being this pocket universe. He and I and maybe 1 or 2 other people conformed to that, and then everywhere else, Hydra were just still a bunch of idiots in purple smocks, who showed up and they were.
Look for the leftovers.
I need cannon fodder. I need to blow up some people this week. Let's get Hydra, in here or something like that. So they didn't really coordinate it, beyond our little pocket universe. But that would have been the editor's job, but the editor wasn't policing it, very much.
Yeah, because I was gonna say some of these Hydra characters showed up like in the Von Strucker Gambit, right? And then I know, like,
right, but I did that,
Yeah.
So that was Greg again was doing 1 chapter of that. I think Chuck Dixon did another chapter of that, and we went out to lunch and said, this is what the story is going to be. Can you use these characters? Sure. Can you do this? Sure. And so that was a kind of a coordinated effort, but I don't think you saw them a lot of other places. I mean, I think Romulus, the woman agent, I think in a Cap story. That might have been the Von Strucker Gambit.
I think it was,
as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
they were interesting characters, but they didn't. I didn't murder them all off like I usually do. I was trying to kind of develop them so he would have a kind of a second tier, around him.
A kinder, gentler Dan Chichester, he didn't kill them off. He just blew up 1,500 shield agents.
Yeah, the shield agents were my cannon fodder, right? Yeah, like murderize them all.
There's a really great panel in issue 26 that I love a lot. It's like some of my favorite people are here.
Oh yeah,
but everybody else.
Yeah, that's fun.
So good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Well, I love the page before when you just see that you just see Mjolnir, and that's like that announces everyone's arrival.
Yeah.
Right.
So was it fun to play with like your cameos?
Yeah, and I should have done more of it, frankly. It's but I mean, this was a little nod, and I was trying to balance the book and trying to build it up and trying to play the espionage angle so hard, which I think comes through really nicely. And there's only so much room for it. But when I see this again in retrospect, it makes me thoughtful that I should have done a little bit more of this, playing in with some of these characters. I tried to, I think I got in my own way there a little bit by making a little universe just around the Shield stuff. And it could have influenced, or use the influence of the Marvel Universe more in this way. And here I was still holding on to some characters left over from, Bob Harris's, day, with the, Network Nina and some other things like that. But not that they were bad to use, but I should have spent a little more time maybe developing some other things as well.
Yeah, it'd been cool because I mean, the stuff spilled out more because even like in your Daredevil run with Fall of the Kingpin, that whole thing is just, Kingpin's getting in bed with Hydra, and Nick Fury's like, well, yeah, let's point Matt Murdock at Kingpin. If that, if they screw over Hydra, more power. They play dirty with us. I'm going to play dirty with them.
Right. Although that got out of control because Murdoch took control of that and said, I'm gonna turn this upside down.
No, you let Matt Murdock off the leash and things got out of control. Get out of
town. No, I know. Who believes it? Fury thought he was going to be the manipulator, but
Can I ask you a question? Since you're a fan,
no.
No,
that's not what this podcast is about. Please do.
So since you're like a James Bond fan and like a fan of espionage genre in general, I've been rereading a lot of like Nick Fury, just Shield and Cap and stuff. Like I feel like espionage in the Marvel universe, like it's just like a quote unquote normal human, is like a Sisyphean task.
to sort of play that out because everything else is so extraordinary. Espionage itself doesn't feel that fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's some of that, but I mean, I think that's a valid thing. You have to up the stakes even more. But I think it's still possible. I mean, I do stand by a lot of these stories, especially since you guys have made me go revisit them.
In general, do you think he just waits? Oh God, what is it now?
Yeah, maybe.
In a good way. Like he's just pushing that boulder up like, oh God.
Right. But they're all like that, right? Oh look, we've got 15 minutes of free time, and then there's another alien ship crashing into Central Park or something like that. So but I think there's I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I don't even know what they do with Shield or Nick Fury or anything like nowadays, if they do anything. But I think there's a much bigger opportunity, certainly, for espionage stories that are more than what seems to be the common story in espionage movies these days, which somebody lost a flash drive or a CD. It's gone from we lost a floppy disk with all the names to a CD-ROM with all the names to a USB stick with all the names to now AI. It's like it's the same story.
I don't think they play up the tech enough with just Shield in general anymore. I miss the big the cruisers like a given, but like there's so much other cool tech that we could like dive into.
Right,
Stuff like
right.
that.
Yeah, I mean that was always the fun thing of the tech of Shield, but and then Shield became Sword and whatever else. But
Yeah.
um,
Somebody really
I
wanted
don't
the name
know
to be Sword.
what is Sword. I mean, I don't even know what Shield stood for after a point. But what his Sword was like sentient something or
Yeah,
like
it was
I
something.
don't
It
know,
was like a
Oh,
space.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like defense against, like
Weaponized something.
aliens
Or
and
other, yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
sentient world ordnance response division. I don't know. You know.
Yeah,
Something like
department.
that, yeah.
Department. You were so close. Now they just call that Palantir, but that's none of my business.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Why isn't the tell me why the Tolkien estate doesn't like sue the shit out of
I know. I was
something
wondering that
like-
too. I was like, how did that?
and
how
you
did that
know
happen?
yeah, and naming your company after an evil thing in the Lord of the Rings is not the flex you think it is. It's just you know
You told on yourself.
right. Yeah. Guess what? You never read Lord of the Rings. You read Atlas Shrugged. You know that's the that's
Dan, didn't you know you're allowed to just be overtly evil now, and people will know?
oh yeah. Well, that's so true. It's so
Back
true.
in my
You
day,
just-
Google used to say "Don't be evil," but they took that out.
Yeah.
They made their first
You know,
billion.
A while. Yeah.
they got rid of the don't. You know, it's just like, oh, let's shorten this. You know, it's like
A new slogan for a new generation.
Well, that's what I've been saying. I'm like, it used to be, the rich and powerful used to pretend they weren't bad people. Now they don't care if you know they're
Yeah.
bad people.
no,
let
they
it
don't.
all-
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. You know, it becomes. You know, yeah. It becomes hard to write stories like this. You know, because you know they're dependent on good over evil. They're dependent on the law will even things out. I mean, I can't watch. What was the Jack Bauer show 24? You know, and I haven't watched that in years. And that always kind of leaned a little bit to the right. But Jack Bauer seemed pure of spirit at least, and but he was always taking down whatever the corrupt this and the right up to the corrupt president or whatever, and he was the guy holding the line. I can't watch a show like that anymore and sort of believe it. Like my suspension, I am more likely to believe, the alien just shows up. A lot more realistic that than
I'll tell you a good Kiefer Sutherland show that is not the antithesis, but it's more believable nowadays. Is Rabbit Hole. I mean, if you still want to support paranormal,
Rabbit Hole.
I mean,
I gotta find that one.
But it had Charles Dance. Don't blame me. It had Charles Dance. I was there.
Okay. I'll check that one out. But yeah, they're just it's difficult to think about stories like this because what do you where is the moral compass or I think Mark Waid at one point posted something like that. Like he just didn't. I mean, I think he's overcome it because he's Mark Waid and is a very good storyteller and such. But how do I even tell a story like with this
like
type of
9/11?
Yeah, a little bit,
right?
A little bit,
yeah.
I always remember this line. I think Peter David wrote in the issue of an Incredible Hulk where he says, if it's ever a choice between right and wrong or even right and legal, I'm going to choose right every time.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, there is a sense of that. I don't think it's a problem for most people to want to tell a story like that and to believe in that. I think that is the majority. I don't think
you're just saying the execution's a little tricky these days.
Well, it's just sort of like like I said, how many stories have we enjoyed, where the one guy uncovers the conspiracy and gets to the heart of it, and the law shows up at the end and claps the cuffs on so and so, and you kind of believe it, right? There's a repercussion, for it.
And they had to uncover like the corruption and stuff,
right?
You just go live in the Switzerland consolate, silly. That's how you end that.
Right? Or but you can't do this because they're where's your warrant? Well, try Minnesota. Tell me what that's going on. I know this is taking a weird tack, but I would gladly fly a helicarrier to Minnesota, and and.
Well, that's why I'm surprised. I'm like the story of like masked vigilantes, like Daredevil aren't like suddenly surging, just taking the law into their own hands.
Yeah, but even those masked vigilantes, have a there's a different quality to that, right? Than their reasoning than masked forces. It's kind of like the masked elements in Watchmen, the HBO series, if you guys ever saw that, which was extraordinarily well done. And I remember thinking this can't possibly work, and it does. Very, very well, I think. And then the masked police force in there, you're sort of like, well, why would they ever do that? Well, here you go.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Nick Fury.
Anyway,
yeah,
like, and all of a sudden blowing up 1,500 people doesn't seem so bad, right?
Speaking of explosions, my favorite part was the midair collision. I love the two planes crashing into each other. That was my favorite. Yeah, I loved it.
My favorite part was when he stole the bus with the women, the
old people. Yeah.
What about cats?
And like 2 seconds before that, the old people are all worried about going to New York. The bus driver's like, "Don't worry, you're not going to get mugged."
Nothing ever happens in New York.
Yeah. I can't say for certain, but I'm sure I was like immensely inspired by John Byrne's, a panel of whenever. Like there was one panel where I think it must have been in a She-Hulk, or something, and he was doing the whole like Dunkin' Donuts, like time to make the donuts joke. The guy was walking out of the thing, time to make the donuts, just when the helicarrier had like shifted or something, and then a jet had fallen off the side of it, like just as he left the donut place, or just he was about to go into it, this jet like landed right on top of the donut place. But I sort of feel like some of the random destruction and joking around that was definitely inspired by his work.
It was just funny because they're like, "You're gonna get mugged." No, you're not gonna get mugged. And then Fury gets them all. He's like, "Get these geezers off the bus."
We're commandeering this bus. Shield business. There is no shield,
Oh yeah. Oh, and then the camouflage where they skin the bears and him and Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
That was some good stuff. I mean, there was some good. I thought there was, this sort of tangibility, like again, of the espionage action. I really enjoyed a lot. And it's weird though, looking at it. I mean, it's you're going from Butch, who's here, very high up, and I think Ernie Steiner was a pretty good storyteller, but he did not have a very good command of faces and hands, and it sort of. It takes some of that story visually down a little bit. That's not dinging him in any way. Visually, I think sequential storytelling, I think, is strong. But there's a lot of funky stuff going on with hands and faces that sort of makes the story a little harder to track.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I just thought Wolverine looked a little different. I don't know, maybe it wasn't hairy enough. I don't know, but yeah, he just looked a little different.
Yeah, there's a noticeable difference from.
Well, yeah, you're going. I mean, you're going from one thing to the other pretty quickly. But that's sometimes the roll of the dice and who's available, and some editors try to make the match in a strong way, and some editors just go after who's ever available.
But yeah, I thought it was clever just the way he kept using Wolverine's healing factor, like that one with the bear thing, and like he just had Wolverine come up out of like the frozen ice and stuff. He's like, they're like, "Oh yeah, he can survive because of the healing factor."
Right. Cuts that guy's leg off. Yeah, so good.
Issue 27 had a really cool panel that I liked with the gun.
Oh yeah,
that just really stood out to me. Small.
Yeah. Oh, when he stops him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The claw. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's good storytelling. I mean, that's the visual. That's really good visual storytelling. I mean, he did a really nice job. And so I just don't think his character work was quite, as sharp looking at it again and thinking about it now. But the storytelling, like that type of sequential stuff, and I don't know, I don't have it. I can't say if I talked it through, make this a multi-panel sequence. I would definitely have said that the claw comes out and stops it, but he may have extended that moment, which was, if he did, that was a very clever visual way to do it.
Plus, I did you just see the one claw, so you might not be sure, but you see that schnick, and you're like, oh, I know
right,
what that is.
Right.
I really love the
Yeah,
end of that issue 27 too. That panel was really good, where he's like, "You just never know."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's a little. Yeah, he's got the wavy. I'm definitely freaking out balloon shapes. Yeah, it's it's
good cliffhanger ending. Yeah.
There were some there. This good. This, in my mind, this is the type of pacing I really enjoyed and thought I was kind of good at.
Episode of 20, a season of 24, which is nonstop. You're like, oh God, Nick Fury's never gonna get another lick of sleep.
right, exactly. This all took place in just 24 hours.
I did like that though, because again, Wolverine has the healing factor, but it's like, oh man, has Fury gone off the deep end? Is he
right?
Basically, had a nervous breakdown or what?
Right, and he's not
you just gotta shoot Wolverine. He gets mouthy,
Yeah.
That's what Cyclops.
And he's not together throughout this story. Once the big tragedy stuff happens. Even when he's putting one over for that reason, with that, even later on, he's not. He's definitely high strung. Fury. So he is a lot more unpredictable and wound up in this whole story intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith, that panel you just had up, can you throw that back up with Wolverine laying there bleeding out?
Yeah, sure.
I thought on a Comics Code book back in that era, I don't know, they had I thought they had a thing about showing a lot of blood. Or am I?
I think that's oil leaking from the plane.
Okay.
That's
jet fuel's a little bit of a different color. Don't worry.
Yeah, it has a little bit of sheen.
He's just lame.
The lighting, it's amber lights. The Comics Code was even when
out at that point. Phil,
so that's jet fuel. Nick Fury's throwing his cigar at. Okay,
exactly, even better. We got to be really sure this guy's dead.
Let's burn him up.
You fake that? No, I didn't watch. I'll light him on fire.
Right. Like a naked gun jag. The Comics Code, even when I came in, I think was definitely on the. It was more lip service than anything. I mean, I think as part of one of my early jobs, I may have been doing some of that sending out of some issues on stuff, and so they were doing it, but it was lightly policed at best, so if this book had the Comics Code on it, it was, it wasn't enforced, if you will, or. And I never heard anything back, for any of the stuff I ever worked on. That was ostensibly under the Comics Code. I never heard anything back, oh, you got to change this because that's the case.
At this point, where you just if the editor came, where you're like, Tom, Carnage, okay, Carnage.
I could have. I mean, yeah, exactly. Carnage was the catch-all of seriously, but there was, it was there, it existed. But it wasn't, it wasn't a thing where a lot of stuff would come back and say, no, you can't play with that or do it that way.
So in this era, were you guys hearing from the Code at all about anything or no?
I know things, like I said, I know things were being sent out to the Code. Books would be sent to the Code.
Did they ever send feedback?
But they may have, but not that I ever saw, or. None that ever directly.
The Comics Code Authority was
me.
one guy in his mom's basement.
It was kind of close to that. Yeah, I mean, I think it was two guys. I think I asked somebody one time. He said, "That's two guys," in 56th Street or whatever. And but there was never anything that impacted anything I worked on, either editorially or as a writer. Nothing ever came back in that way.
Yeah, I thought it was my understanding, they kind of formed it in lieu of having to have government regulation. It was just kind of a self-regulatory thing, just to say that they were.
Well, yeah, I mean, it came out in whatever the 50s, with driven to some part by the EC Comics William Gaines's EC Comics, and which were Tales from the Crypt, and all the fabulous horror comics, and not just his, but anybody. And his, EC Comics were the quality
moral
ones.
panic in the 50s.
Right. Huge moral panic. There was, what was the guy? Frank Wortham. Seduction of the Frederick Wortham. Yeah. Yes. Seduction of the Innocent. The comics are corrupting kids. They're ruining kids. Look at this. Somebody is, using an arm, chopped off arm as a, baseball bat, in a grisly midnight game. And Gaines famously didn't capitulate, as many of the other publishers did. But the capitulation was, Lilith, I believe exactly what you said. We're forming a Comics Code Authority. The Comics Code Authority will conform to these standards and keep us all honest, much as the game industry did, like in the 80s, early 90s. When the satanic panic shifted, to gaming. Gaming's to blame for everything. Everything's to blame for everything except except for people in government. And so but then at that point, early on, it had a lot of authority. Publishers were very consciously restricting their storytelling, to not rock the boat. And then, there was a lot of policing of things being sent in and then notes being sent back, and you can't do this and you can't do that. But as time went on, comics started to flex itself more, and then certain things got left, were shipped without the Comics Code because they wanted to do it. I mean, I think one of the earliest ones was, I want to say, like the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Sort of there was a drug, issue that was heavily about drug use, and there was a needle in the arm, and they were like, no, you can't show this, you can't do that. And editorially, they just made the decision, no, this is a good story, and we want to do it. And I think there was a Spider-Man story.
Yeah, Stan Lee is like 3 issues or something. Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're not running then you don't want to give us the thing, we're not going to run it with the code. And then, from a publishing point of view, at that point, like, well, look, we did it, and the sky's still up there, and so people start to shrug it off, right? They're not making, Midnight Cowboy's running in the theater, and you're and the world is still turning somehow. So, we'll have a story about this, and nothing's going to change.
What's so weird about those drug things? Because they're like, oh, you shouldn't be putting out that story, but those stories are anti-drug messages.
Right.
Like,
Spider-Man to the rescue specifically.
But that's but even you go back to the EC Comics, and like I said, there were other publishers at that time that were doing just grisly shit for the sake of doing grisly shit. And even as today, right? More so probably today, like so-called horror comics. But by and large, I would argue almost every EC comic was a morality play. And by that, I mean, the bad guy gets his in the end, right? He may murder his fiance, but at the end, her corpse comes back and, does some, twisted, ironic thing, to him, and so there's a moral comeuppance there, even though it's played out in the most, Grand Guignol, haunted house sort of way possible. But everyone's just reacting to like, oh my God, my kid can't see this.
Well, Green Arrow 85 was actually it was approved with the drug use. I think Spider-Man to the Rescue was the first one that was actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Because they were like, yeah, they did exactly what you say. Like, well, it's a moral. It's like, because like the subtitles like DC attacks youth's greatest problem, drugs. So like they're like really had to do a little, ego massaging.
Right. Youth's greatest problem. Where did you get this? Where'd you
Yeah.
get it? I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you.
I mean, Ollie, honestly.
Where did you get this?
Your closet, Dad.
Exactly.
Or Harry and Norman Osborn.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, that Spider-Man, that was a big anti-drug message. Just like, look what all the illegal drugs have done to Harry Osborn's cornrows. I mean, come on.
I clearly need it more.
The cold freaked me out. I'm like, oh god, I got chilly just looking at it.
I know.
Can we go somewhere tropical next, please?
It was definitely fun bouncing around. I guess so, but not after this last weekend. But I mean, at that point, it felt fun to kind of bounce around, in a lot of the locations. Like that's what I was saying earlier, maybe before you came on, Lilith. I just, just moving around, like having so much stuff kind of going on here. It was kind of energizing, in a way. Hopefully didn't lose the readers, as it kind of went on. But I think that was always the appeal of espionage movies and James Bond movies and such to me.
Yes.
Right. And suddenly you're like, you're
yeah.
I mean, if you go back and even watch Goldfinger, to this day, like that opening shot of Miami or something like that makes Miami look like the most glorious place on the planet.
Don't come here now. Not 2026.
No, but but they had a way of, it felt like a travelogue, and not that the Arctic was a travelogue in that way, but it's kind of nice to sort of switch out things and give like scope to the story, right? Oh my God, and that's where you kind of compete with oh, we're not in space, we're not in the danger room with the X-Men, but we're in all these fantastic locations and secret bases and hidden caves with nuclear powered whatever's in them.
And don't forget sharks with lasers on their head.
Yes.
Sharks with frickin' lasers.
Just love that. It's like this little breath.
Oh, soundboard. Nice.
Yeah. But no, I like this scene too. Like Lilith has up after Fury crashes the plane, so Hydra's not in a good place either. They're like, oh yeah, half our guys are dead, half our guys are broken.
Right.
You don't mess with the cold, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was gravity that killed the impact and gravity that killed most of them. Love. No, and it was like, and again the way, and again it was such a like a edge of your seat thing too, because it's like just the mind, you don't know what mindset Nick Fury's in, and then this desolate location, you're like, well, people could just like, Fury might just try to blow everyone up or do something,
right?
And it's like they don't have to worry about collateral damage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go out in a blaze of glory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought he was almost going to try that with that plane until he ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I think I regret is the Bruce Willis joke. That was kind of.
Oh yeah, Bruce Willis.
That was lamely topical, like or not topical, but just culturally, like, oh look, this is that felt like it kind of took it out of the story, but you just you go with the moment sometimes.
From the cover.
That's a pretty good cover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got a polar bear to keep warm. All right.
Yeah.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was happy to see the return of Romulus and Guillotine, because I remembered with great fondness the Von Strucker Gambit. And I remember too, when I first read the Von Strucker Gambit when it was coming out, I had just learned in school about some Greek myths, and in particular the story about the three Furies was something that interested me a lot. And I remember conflating that with the Von Strucker Gambit, like the three female antagonists in each parts of that story. I kind of conflated them with it was like Hydra's attempt to make their own female Furies or something like that. Their own version of the Greek Furies. My brain kind of combined those two together, but I always wondered what happened to Romulus after that story, because she was one of the few that survived the
Survived.
Yeah.
I mean, this came after it, I think.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, because Nick Fury does say something about her and Captain America, because she was in that
right
annual. Yeah.
Right. I think that was the year before this, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely, again, trying to build up, a cast of Hydra characters that would have more legs or more identifiability, than just guys in like purple smocks and, weird hoods and stuff. But then it becomes like an N of one if nobody else is playing with them, or they don't take root, somewhere else. So I would come back to them. That's why, lifted them from that story and brought them over here, and then added some other ones. But and then somebody shows up in Daredevil. I think Garat shows up in Daredevil.
Yeah, isn't he?
Well.
He's the guy working like going to the Kingpin on behalf of Hydrants.
Yeah. Because he's dressed up as like
is he Colonel
Sanders
or whatever?
Yeah, Colonel Sanders. I say, boy, doing his foghorn.
I love it.
I do want to shout out all your cliffhangers were really good. I think this one is my favorite though.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
This is the best one for sure.
Yeah, they were good cliffhangers. I mean, they had that. I that's why I sort of was saying I instinctively felt before I went back and read it. I remember this having a very espionage feel. Like it had that sort of like this predates 24, but that 24 rhythm, or the kind of rhythm you would have from that. My enjoyment of espionage type fiction, beyond just James Bond, that's definitely where I felt this kind of hit all the right notes in these kind of cliffhangers and setups and getting to the next one.
Yeah, this one is my favorite for sure, though.
Right, and that's nice storytelling, on Ernie's part. It really is. I mean, the Fury's body's a little weird, but visually, like there's a lot of good stuff going on here.
Yeah,
I'm so spoiled, man, because most trades come out so fast now. Like I'm like, I'll just wait for the trade. Used to be I could never wait for the trade. And I'm like, I just wait for a trade. Since I've been mad about 30 days.
Well, you had no choice then. 30 days, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It seems like back in the day we had more back issue bins also. So
that's true.
Spinner
racks, more $1 back issue bins and stuff.
Yeah. You got to go to more.
I need 50-cent bins. More 50-cent bins.
You got to hit flea markets, and stuff like that.
Oh, I do.
There was a big flea market thing I went to a couple of weeks ago, and they had tons of stuff. So that's the way to do it. I didn't. I just was like looking through it, but no, I reserved my my money for the strange wax museum next door. That was like
oh nice,
like old classic horror movie stuff. So
cool, very cool.
Oh, that's what Lilith, when you come up for my birthday, that's where we need to go. There's like a flea market every weekend.
You get one thing, and we're doing WWE, big brother. One thing.
I know. Oh, I don't want to tire you out, Grandma. Okay.
It's decided. Then it is decided. Apparently, that is it.
I'm just teasing.
There's like a flea market every weekend down the road here. It's like in an old like movie one of those big movie theaters, the multiple screen.
Oh yeah,
went out of business years ago, but yeah, they just like turned it into like a big flea market. People can buy spots and stuff, and
those are the best. I mean, this one I went to was like one of those ones where I guess they had semi-permanent vendors. In a bunch of the spots. You bought the spot, but jam packed with a lot of cool stuff, not just pop culture stuff too, like antique stuff, but good range. But you end up buying stuff that do I need that? No, but it's so cool. What can I do?
We're talking about the collections and the back issues, but yeah, this is also on Marvel Unlimited. So if anyone
you can read the whole
there you go.
Yeah.
But I feel like this story, more than any other espionage story, is deserving of the title Cold War.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, in the,
Literal
point of
on those,
obviousness. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if this
literally
one
feels
is.
like the movies I grew up watching with my dad. There's
That's
this
good,
one
though.
shot in no, totally good. In 29 that I'm just like, yeah, I just know I've seen this movie.
Right. Without it
It's
being
the
a ripoff.
submarine
I mean,
shot. This is
yeah.
my favorite part
That-
of 29.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So cool.
That definitely like has that.
When you
like,
can
sort of,
work
like,
a submarine in, work it in.
Yeah.
It's always there, right?
The Hunt for
Classic
Baron
Strucker.
And the Ruskies, right? This is
Exactly.
right.
The Ruskies
And this
in the
is like,
back, yeah.
yeah, the Ruskies, the Maggia. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely like, you know, reading a lot of Tom Clancy, you know,
Hunt for Baron Strucker.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Little bit of that too. All of it.
Yeah.
A lot of
The
fun.
Satan
There's a
Claw.
lot.
Yeah.
Fun one to revisit.
Yeah. Very cool.
But no, I mean it's good. I mean it's not only is it a like a straight up espionage story, but it is. I mean it's in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You get stars.
Right.
You get
Right.
absolutely.
And that's always, you know, I mean, that was always the fun thing about the Marvel universe. You know, you could turn the dial up or down, right? And
Mhm.
it could have cosmic stakes. It could have, you know, very personal, you know, stakes. You know, and you could play the adventure against that backdrop, you know, a lot of different ways. And you know, there's that opportunity there. I think a lot of people still do it, you know, with that way. But I don't read everything, so I don't know.
I mean, again, this must have been a fun series to work on because, like you were saying, the espionage, you get to travel the world. Because at this point, Marvel, most of those books were centered like in New York. So
yeah,
New York was, you know,
New York
like what?
so crowded.
Get out of New York, right?
Yeah, you had all the
San
books in New
Francisco
York,
too.
all the books in New York. You had West Coast Avengers, but yeah, I mean, pretty much the rest of the world was wide open.
I remember writing a line in like the Terra Incorporated like series of something. It was like, well, why don't you like work in New York? It's like it's too crowded, you know. It's like you know, it's money to be made in New York for mercenaries. It's too crowded, you know.
Hero on every block.
Well, that's what we talked about before. It's like, you know, it's like if you're a bank robber, why would you go to Gotham City or something? It's like, why don't you hit like Idaho?
Well, first of all, ain't no money in the Gotham Bank.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go cool off in like Bloodhaven, you know, or something like that, because that sounds like a soothing experience, you know. I was like,
Central City, baby. They rob bank. They gotta understand it with the Flash. That's where I would go. They gotta understand it.
Vacation in sunny.
He'll talk to you and then take you to where you got to go. Yeah, this is a fun ride. Great choice, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
Good. Very cool.
Yeah, this is super fun.
I got the easy part. He wrote it. I just said like, what should we do?
I don't know if this one was. I know I have one other. Like, unless it's somewhere else, I have one Nick Fury like epic collection on my shelf. I don't know if they collected this one in the epic books. I don't know.
I was looking for a collection. I see I don't know if it's in. There's a collection, and it looked like there was at least 2 or 3 volumes. It's called Classic. It literally.
Yeah. Right. I have one of those at least. Maybe I haven't the other ones like somewhere else, but on the shelf nearby, I couldn't find this particular one. But so I had to pull out the originals. So
I mean, I could see them if not before, they probably reprinted it, you know, sometime during the MCU once Sam Jackson.
Yeah. They seem to have gone through most of that stuff and found a way to collect most things at this point, which is nice.
Which by sometime between now and December, you know, they're going to reprint every Doctor Doom story ever told.
I'm sure. Yeah. Right. And those will all possibly be better than Doomsday. But
But
well, I mean, again,
hoping for the best.
Not just comics, but like literature in general. Like, aren't the book or the comic always better than the movie?
No,
shout out to Fight Club movie. Shout out to Fight Club movie.
I think there's things that are equal in different ways. You know, I love Silence of the Lambs the book. I love Silence of the Lambs the movie. You know, I think they're both like extraordinary. You know, but I think I'm just saying I just have no I have zero faith in multiverse stories at this point. So, and they seem to be leaning so freaking hard into multiverse. But they'll be following the Mandalorian and Grogu. So anything next to that may, be a classic based on the trailers alone. So.
Well, hopefully this is the last of the multiverse. I think they're just doing this to, recast everyone as 20.
But who cares about it? Like that's the problem, right? The multiverse is like a non-starter. The only way to make it relevant is if you destroy everything else. And if you destroy everything else, then it's like basically you're saying
Heroes Reborn, you say?
Shut your mouth.
Like how about just do, come up with like a cool freaking story and just like run with it somehow. It's not like there's any shortage of them.
I think they want to recast everyone, but they don't want to like restart a new Marvel universe or whatever. So it's just like, oh god.
I guess
back to basics: superheroes and supervillains fighting. Like,
right? You could never recast a character like James Bond. Well, fine. That certainly doesn't work.
Doctor Who, or
Doctor Who.
I mean, again, they could have ended the MCU at Endgame. That was a good 10, 11 years, and then just start a new Marvel universe.
That would have been the time to do it. Yeah.
Right. But whatever. I mean, I'll be there. I'll see it. I'm sure. But I'm just having, I'm having I get no juice. From any of these teasers or trailers or anything, seems like a big nostalgia trip, and it deserves more than that, right? Fan service, yeah.
Well, on that note,
well,
I guess we're
okay.
done. Lilith is sobering up. I guess we're done.
No, I am always sober for Chichester Chats. I just want to make that clear.
That's an accomplishment. All right. All right. So, so next time, of course, it's going to be March. So, I've been March episode.
No.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I've been waiting to pull the trigger on this one. I think we're going to should cover Daredevil 301 through 303, your Owl story.
Ooh.
Okay. Owl story is weird. It's kind of good. Yeah. Let's check that out. Okay.
It's like, okay, the Kingpin has fallen. Now what do I do?
Oh, God, you made a terrible mistake.
Yeah,
he was holding the city together.
Wait a minute. I ran out of my outline. Now what do I do? Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's check that out. That's fun.
Cool.
All right, and what should we promote? Any updates on the TBD Sword and Sorcery story?
Well, the first one's, like I said, it's kind of the artist is finishing up the last one. It looks fantastic. I almost got Demetrios, the publisher of Black Box, to agree on a title, but he hasn't really. Because I said I want to do something with it. But I'm working on there's a volume 2 of that, which I'm working on already. So there's going to be at least 2 of those. So I'm in the process of writing that, and then they I turned in the Alien story with them, and they like that too. So he's looking for an artist on that. But I imagine, I don't know what all his particulars are, but I imagine based on where they are with the Barbarian Sword and Sorcery one, I would think the summer would seem like a good time that might come out. But
always a good time for a loincloth in the summer.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know what his, there's distribution, there's, financial things. So I'm not in control of that. And distribution wise, he's not in control of it 100% either. So that's a tricky thing with a smaller publisher, but it does look fabulous. And, happily looking forward to kind of promoting that, more. So it's a lot of fun.
And
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about it. And you do have con appearances this year, I believe.
I do. First one up will be in March. If anybody is in Raleigh, I think that's the first one, Galaxy Con down in Raleigh. So I'll be there whenever that weekend is. I think it's the 19th through the 22nd. I think it's a 4-day con, and been to that show before, and it's always a lot of fun. Good people down there. So it'll be fun to kind of return that way. Street Writers is on sale, still. If you guys want to check out some writing tips and tricks, And
Barcode right there, kids. Oh, I mean,
yeah, barcode, so much more efficient than me. And then I think I mentioned last time I was working on this prose story for this. Did I mention this for the Stan
Yeah,
Brereton collection? Yeah. So I wrapped that up, and they accepted that. So that'll be out in June. Yeah, kind of cooking along on a few of those fronts.
Very cool.
Very good.
nice.
All
Yes.
right, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you much
for your time as
Yeah.
always, and thank you for this story.
All
Yeah.
right. Always a fun Wednesday. You folks stay well. All right.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
soon.
Get to the owl copter.
Exactly. Get your talons. Come on, Raptors, go. All right. Take it easy.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't wait for that story. I love it.
What, the Daredevil one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Justin, you gotta join us. Get some owl on owl.
Absolutely. I haven't read that one. Yeah. I'm
Oh yeah,
excited.
it's hilarious.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers.
All right. Well, speaking of,
Speaking of shameless plugs, don't mind if I do.
that's right. Again, we're not a fancy famous writer like Mr. Chichester. Every little bit of support helps. So, but again, send us your thoughts. Again, if you have questions for Mr. Chichester, so you can send them for the Nick Fury story, for the upcoming Daredevil.
Get your no prize. Send in
Again.
some comments.
Yeah, again, it's Daredevil 301 through 303. I don't know if they've collected that yet, but it is on. I know it is on the Marvel Unlimited app. So, So read it, send in your questions. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And you can follow us on all social media, including Reddit, TikTok. We have our Substack now, just like Dan has his Substack. So follow along there. And again, help support us by buying merch at TeePublic or Spring, including the new Capes Lunatics logo, the new Podfather Phil logo, the new Lost Library of Legends logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now we need a logo for Lilith. I think. Oh, again.
I'm not allowed to have a logo. Sorry.
Why?
I don't think we're gonna put cock and balls on it.
No, we didn't.
And a leather electrified cage. I don't think we're doing that.
A burning 69 and just said the Lilith Hellfire Club.
Or it could be sparkly quantum tentacles.
Yeah, you know what? Yes, there we go. We each get our own little logo. Kristen gets a kangaroo. Hold
Yes.
the book.
Yeah.
Oh no, in front of a lectern, giving a lecture. That's her logo.
Oh my God.
Said that too.
So what's this logo going to be for shining, sparkly quantum tentacles?
Just shiny, sparkly quantum tentacles. The more eldritch horror, the better. Just saying.
Well, little character, little cartoon Love Hellfire Recording saying hentai is an art form.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
I don't think those are tentacles.
It's
All
not
right.
just an art form, it's a way of life.
Oh my. And speaking of Lilith Hellfire and her needs, she needs you to just rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
It's 2026. Shrinkflation is getting us, boys.
Yeah.
Need the money. Give me
StreamYard's really sticking it to us.
Lilith needs new circuit boards for her experiments and artificial lovers. So rain random money on us.
If I get the prototype working, it's gonna be cheaper than your big boy corporations. I'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Lilith has to build them.
Love for everyone. Okay.
Lilith has to build it, test drive it, then build the name more and have Justin test drive that.
That's right. Full review from me.
Oh my. The 9-inch review, did you say?
That's an awfully big rod he's got there.
You people.
Seacock.
All right. Anyway, yes, and of course the Patreon. Please subscribe to our Patreon. Not only do you get at least one exclusive uncensored episode every month, but now you get all of our normal episodes early. Like if you're listening to this,
You
on
can't
the
wait
podcast,
if you're impatient.
could have got this one early. Yeah. Gotta hear all this nonsense early. So subscribe to the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics.
Fucking crazy.
Hey, have you given Kristen and Ray their certificates? Did you mail them?
Yeah,
You
I
to
emailed them.
Okay.
I emailed them. Yes, I did.
Did they like them?
Yes, yeah. Ray, I think Ray made some kind of comment about collecting them all, and I'm like, that's the only one. And I'm thinking, oh,
I mean,
God.
we can make for Ray because he's a patron. We can make some more for him.
Like,
we'll have
like one for each person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was almost like, oh God, do we need to make like trading cards or something?
You know what? We'll workshop that when I come down for your birthday.
Yes.
I love that idea.
At least
love
a
that
card for each of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the puppet and Charlie, they get separate cards.
The puppet and Charlie, yeah. Chichester. We'll do all the legends like Maz Manzor, Matt Kona. Yeah, we'll do all the legends.
Just Rob in a robe for the hell of it. It's our origin story. You know, you can't understand us without our origin story.
Rob in his tattered bathrobe.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
All right. Where was I? Plugs. And again, this Justin the Owl, you'll know him, you love him, but you need more of him. So, Justin, tell them where they can find you on what are you doing on the Lost Library of Legends?
Lost Library of Legends. You can find me every month talking about some obscure and forgotten comic book gem from the past. There's quite a few from the 90s, but it's a little bit of a smorgasbord of everything.
Yes. But
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Frequently.
And you can also catch him on the Return to Predator and Prey podcast.
That's true. Me and Ray have reactivated Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, and we just put up a new episode.
They're roaming the galaxy without supervision, Phil.
Yes. Yep. We're roaming. And we just did a review of Killer of Killers, the great animated anthology film, which is available on Hulu now.
Yes, Ray has loosened his grip on that deck and has time for some little.
He heard some competition was coming from me, so you know he's like, let me get a backup. Get a backup stream of income here.
The big finish.
Jazz hands.
So yes, Justin, has also been podcasting. Yes, with the Hard Master. Ray plays games on YouTube. Mr. Strongest Wrist Down Under.
Strongest Wrist.
The ampersand sent you.
We wanted to see the iron grip that Capes and Lunatics talked about. All right, and of course you can help support Kristen, who is an educator, by buying Dick Grayson Boy Wonder on Amazon.
Bless her soul.
Yes, learn all the secrets of Dick Grayson. Again, you will learn something. And again, I'm not just a promoter. I am a reader also.
Can't wait to get my signed copy. I'm gonna say it every time till I get it.
Oh God, we're gonna get a Capes and Lunatics con.
Yes.
Kristen just signing copies of the book.
I love that idea.
I'm gonna make her sign "You don't know Dick." Nobody told Kristen.
have a male beauty pageant. Have Justin and his biscuit. Biscuit contest.
I love that. Yeah.
I'll have a edibles tasting.
Yeah.
Table.
Oh yeah.
21 plus. 21 plus.
Perfect.
Yeah, just me and Justin.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to be a judge at the biscuit contest also.
Of course. Yeah. I'll be ready with my oil and or jello.
Oh God.
Or cream corn. I don't know. If it feel have to see how I feel.
God, it's gonna be like Varsity Blues.
Water's never enough. If you know, you know.
Oh!
I'm gonna need that as a drop. Thank you.
Oh. I don't know what's happening.
Nothing to get wet about anyway.
All right, and of course you can always catch me all over social media at PodfatherPhil and get the T-shirt. Get T-shirt. Take her there. All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Next 3 episodes, we're going to be starting our 3-part Batwoman special because both Batwomen have anniversaries this year. So
yeah,
just Bat people.
Yes,
I'm joking.
Why bad people? We're not including any. Well, I guess Batman's in some of the stories, but we're not. I was gonna say we're not really including the men in this. Come on. And that first episode will be part of. Yes, we will be dropping some Silver Age episodes.
The best age
this year because it's the 70th anniversary of the Silver Age.
Your fave could never.
70th
Silver Age.
70th anniversary of Barry Allen getting splashed those chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Come back next time and remember, keep it cold.